And Lord, teach us to pray that when you pray, say, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Good day, everyone. Today, we're reflecting on one profound phrase Jesus said when his disciples asked him to teach them how to pray. When you pray. Notice, Jesus didn't say this is how to pray, but instead, when you pray. This shift is powerful. It teaches us that prayer isn't about rituals or techniques. It's about the heart posture and mindset you bring into those sacred moments. In the next 5 minutes, I'll share 5 keys from this phrase to help transform your prayer life. Prayer isn't something to rush through or do out of routine. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6, verse 6, When you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Before you pray, pause and reflect. Align your heart and thoughts with God's purpose. Prayer becomes powerful when it's intentional and focused. In Luke chapter 18, verse 41, Jesus asked the blind man, What do you want me to do for you? And the man replied, Lord, I want to see. This teaches us that God values specific prayers. When you pray, be clear about your needs. Specific prayers reflect your faith and trust in God's ability to provide. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 21, verse 22, If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. Faith is the foundation of prayer. When you pray, believe that God hears you and that He is able to do what you ask. Pray with confidence, knowing that nothing is impossible for Him to turn around. In Numbers chapter 14, verse 28, God says, As surely as I live, declares the Lord, I will do to you the very thing I heard you say. This reminds us to be careful with our words in prayer. Speak life, faith, and victory. Avoid careless or negative speech because your words carry weight before God. When you pray, let your words align with His promises. James chapter 4, verse 10 says, Humble yourselves before the Lord and He will lift you up. Prayer is not about showing off or earning approval. It's about surrendering to God with a humble heart. When you pray, come before Him with reverence, trusting that He knows what's best for you. When Jesus said, when you pray, He wasn't just teaching His disciples about prayer, He was inviting them and us into a deeper relationship with God. This weekend, ask yourself, are you intentional in your prayers? Are your words specific and faith-filled? Are you careful and humble in your approach to God? When you pray, follow these principles. Pray with focus, sincerity, and faith, and watch how God transforms your life through prayer. When you pray, let it be intentional, specific, and impactful. Prayer is a sacred dialogue, a moment where heaven meets earth. It's not just about asking for things, but about building a relationship with the Creator. When you pray, think of it as a conversation with a dear friend who knows you intimately and loves you unconditionally. This mindset can transform the way you approach prayer. Another key to transforming your prayer life is consistency. Just as any relationship grows with regular communication, so does your relationship with God. Set aside a specific time each day to pray. It could be in the morning when you wake up, during your lunch break, or before you go to bed. The important thing is to make it a daily habit. Consistency in prayer helps you stay connected to God and keeps your spiritual life vibrant. It's like watering a plant. The more consistent you are, the more you'll see growth and fruit in your life. Also, remember that prayer is not just about speaking, but also about listening. After you've poured out your heart to God, take a moment to be still and listen. You might not hear an audible voice, but God speaks in many ways, through Scripture, through the peace in your heart, and through the circumstances around you. Listening in prayer is an act of humility and surrender. It's acknowledging that God's wisdom is greater than ours and that we need His guidance. So when you pray, make space for silence and listen for His still, small voice. Lastly, let your prayers be filled with gratitude. Thank God for His blessings, for His presence, and for His love. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, and it opens your heart to receive more of God's goodness. When you pray with a grateful heart, you align yourself with God's will and invite His blessings into your life. Gratitude in prayer is a powerful way to deepen your relationship with God and to experience His peace and joy. So, as you go about your day, remember these keys to transforming your prayer life. Be intentional, be specific, have faith, be consistent, listen, and be grateful. Let your prayers be a reflection of your heart's deepest desires and your trust in God's perfect plan for your life. May your prayer life be enriched and may you experience the transformative power of connecting with God. When you pray, let it be a sacred moment where you encounter His love, His wisdom, and His grace. when you pray, let it be a beautiful, transformative experience that draws you.